This is an ancient land of castles, knights, dragons, and mystery, and a place where food alone has stood the test of time. The perfect place to trace my own culinary roots, the Gower Peninsula in Wales. Until I became a dad, I never really thought about my family's roots. But now, I often wonder where I came from. I do know that my mom's side of the family, the Webbs, they came from Wales. Which as a chef is a little bit puzzling to me. I mean, France or Italy would make a whole lot more sense, but Wales? I don't know very much about Welsh food, so I'm here to learn more, and maybe along the way learn a little more about myself. One thing I do know about Wales is that this country actually has a food ambassador. This is definitely my kind of place. Hello.
Hello, bore da. Welcome to Wales.
Thank you.
I wish the weather was a little bit kinder.
I have no complaints. It's beautiful. Oh boy, tight squeeze. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Is that the Prince of Wales?
It is?
The Prince was here.
Yes, he was here. He was very supportive and still is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good for Welsh food.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great ambassador, yes. You see, there's a tradition of Welsh cheese making. Most of the farms made their own cheese and butter.
And all organic cow's milk cheeses.
Yes, yes.
A taste of home. Ladies first.
Oh, thank you. I just love the Caerphilly because it's my type of cheese. I think the Welsh in particular like light, mild cheeses.
You know, one of the reasons I actually came here is because my mom's side of the family came from Wales generations ago. So I'm here to explore my roots a little bit. And I've never met a food ambassador before.
Well, that was a great honour, and I'm sure there were far more deserving cases. I'd rather think it was because of my age, maybe.
Or your beauty.
No, he did not. I probably was the oldest person in Wales. But and I'm very passionate about the food that we are producing in Wales. There's such a huge variety.
And you know, I've heard a lot about the salt marsh lamb, too.
Yes, that's gorgeous as well, isn't it? It's got its own distinctive taste. Have you tried it?
Not yet.
You've got a treat in store for you then.
I've never spoken with a food ambassador before. This is fascinating.
You're so kind, Michael.
It must be my Welsh blood.
Yes.
Thelma's an amazing ambassador for the food of Wales, and she told me about one of the places where her cheese is served, a country house of some kind called Fairy Hill.
On order outside, 2 fish cake. Got a big table of 8. We already have some lamb on order, salt marsh lamb.
This looks like the chef. How are you
Good
doing?
morning, how are you?
Michael.
Michael, very glad to meet you.
Good to meet you as well.
Absolutely.
You do your menu every day?
Menu changes nearly every day. Some things obviously stay the same. Welsh leeks, Welsh goat's cheese on the starters. On the main courses, lava bread, which is a very local dish. The suin is on today with 2 other fish, brill and sole. Then we have the famous Gower salt marsh lamb on today as well. Garlic mash, some cabbage, and a garden rosemary sauce going with that.
Sounds like a good place to be a chef.
It's lovely. So much fresh produce straight on your back door. You can't go wrong. You just can't go wrong.
So local lamb.
Local lamb.
Hi.
Morning, Roland. How are you?
Not
Not too bad, not too bad. This is Michael, chef from Canada, traveling around the world.
I hear you're raising the finest lamb in town.
The best lamb in the country. We've got a pack of cutlets, a loin, we've got a few big legs.
Look at that fat on that. That's amazing. Beautiful lamb. I'd love to see this lamb.
Come and visit the farm.
I would love to. Thank you. It's a real pleasure to meet you.
See you later.
Thank you. I actually have Welsh roots myself. My
Right.
family is from Wales.
Okay.
My mom's side of my family from way back when. So I'm here to try the food and just sort of get a feel for where my family
Superb.
came
There we
from.
go. Chris, can you nip to the garden and get me some herbs? Thank you very much.
Almost every ingredient that Chef Rick uses is from within 10 miles of Ferry Hill, a philosophy about local food that very much mirrors my own. He's even offered to whip up a taste of Wales for me.
For Michael, we're going to do a nice piece of loin of the salt marsh lamb. Don't take much cooking at all. The lamb will serve with a tiny bit of samphire, and we'll do a lava bread sauce to go with the 2 fish.
Come on then. Out you come. Come on. Hi, you're Michael.
I'm Michael.
I'm
and
Andrew.
you're-
How do you do?
The keeper of the ducks.
Indeed, the chief duck keeper.
Are you using them for the eggs?
Yes, yeah, we keep them predominantly for the eggs. They produce just enough eggs for the restaurant to have on as a starter for most of the year. But these are Muscovies, and they make very good pets. And as you can hear, the plus point of Muscovies is they're actually silent. You'll get the odd squeak out of them, but there's no quacking involved.
Okay. How does this all sort of fit into the overall theme of the hotel?
Because we major on local produce, and obviously the duck eggs on the menu, you know, the 10-mile menu we have is actually, as you can see, is about a 10-meter menu when it comes to the duck eggs. So you can't get better than that.
Of course.
Okay, these are our lovely local cockles and the lava bread that goes with it. So we'll just put them into the sauce. Lava bread is basically seaweed, so it's just like a puree of seaweed, and it was always a staple diet in the old days. It's got a really distinctive taste to it, and very few other places in the world do it. Two little pieces of the sea trout, the suin, and a tiny bit of the bass. Round the edge, cockle and lava bread sauce. Slice through the lamb. We'll lay it on top of the samphire. So we're sort of describing where it comes from in the plate of food. Ready for our friend from Canada to try. Michael,
Oh, goodness, look at all this.
look at this.
I've come to the Gower Peninsula in Wales searching for my family's roots, and I've already met a few people who feel like family. Thelma, the Welsh food ambassador, who shares my passion for organics. And Rick, a local chef who loves local ingredients as much as I do. Dining in the garden today.
Dining in the garden.
You don't get many of these hot sunny
We don't
days.
get many of these hot sunny days. This is a beautiful rarity.
I brought this with me.
Absolutely. For us. Start with a duck egg if you want.
Let's try that, and you've got to share with me. As I look at this, the first thing that occurs to me is a very nice, simple presentation style.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't complicate anything. We're not pretentious. We don't pretend to be anything that the food isn't.
The egg's not very fresh, though.
Not very fresh? Came out of one of them this morning, my friend.
It's beautiful. And what is this fish?
This one is the suin, the sea trout.
Right.
Okay.
And are these the cockles in the
We
sauce?
have the cockles in the sauce with the lava bread, so...
And lava bread. Lava bread?
Lava bread. Seaweed, basically. Seaweed from the shores, blitzed down, so it's just like a puree of seaweed.
This is something I've really been looking forward to. This salt marsh lamb.
Lightly seared, should still be served pink, if not still rare, right through the middle of it. So tender, and the flavour on it is just...
That tastes like just an awesome steak. This is a much bigger flavor than I'm used to with lamb. It's so good with this samphire. I'm still learning that word.
Absolutely.
Sea asparagus.
Sea asparagus.
This is one of the single best flavor combinations I have ever eaten. Salt marsh lamb from the Gower Peninsula in Wales, served with the exact same plant that the lamb ate. Just brilliant.
What is the point in trying to change what works? If something works, you use it. You don't try and go away from it.
I really respect that. I mean, that's very much the way that I cook at home. If I can be so dramatic, I'll say it's in my blood. It's the way I cook. Would you like a little piece of lamb?
Hello, my little friend. Very fortunate little cat. Don't get to eat this good normally, do you, my little friend?
And this whole Gower Peninsula, it's just a
It's
wonderful
awesome.
place.
You cannot get a more rustic land left as it should be.
I can't wait to go see how this is raised. I find this meat so intriguing. Hi, Roland.
Hi.
Hey, you didn't tell me you have a castle in your front yard.
Doesn't everybody?
I get maybe around here they do, but look at that.
No, it's a bit unique, that, isn't it?
That is amazing. How old is it?
This is a 14th century castle.
So 600 years old, eh?
600, yeah.
We don't have things at home that are 600 years old.
We've got a few around here.
Look at that. And this view, this is the salt marsh.
This is the salt marsh. That's where all the sheep are grazing.
How many sheep would be down there? Look at them all.
There must be about 3,000 sheep.
3,000, yeah. Can we work our way down in there?
Yeah,
somehow?
let's go down.
Let's take my rig.
It's a good rig you've got. I
Thank
quite
you.
like it.
Yes, you should get one
I
yourself.
think I will get one myself one day.
Sheep in every direction. That's a whole lot of rack of lamb. How do we get some of these sheep in a little closer?
Well, we'll put the dogs out. They'll come running in. Come on, dog. Hey, Fly. The dogs. Yeah. Come by. Come by. Come by, Charlie.
Are you trying to get them to come back?
No. Come by means to go out to the left.
Ah, well, they know exactly what to do, don't they?
Stand there. Stand. Stand.
I suspect these sheep think that there's a chef among them. Look at them, they've all run away.
They all run away from you, have they?
They
your
know that I
your
like them.
reputation's gone before you.
Yes. This is what you would have to do is the tide was coming in and it's time to move them off the marsh. And
That's what you learn from experience. 2 hours before, the pills, or gutters as you would call them, start filling up with water. And then the sheep can't cross those gutters, so they get cut off and get stranded there. That's some sandfire, isn't it?
distinctive looking too.
It is, isn't it?
And it doesn't affect the flavor of the sheep, the lamb,
Oh, yeah, it does affect the flavour.
but not salty.
Not salty. It wouldn't make it salty. It's just that it make it more tender and a sweeter flavour. That's a bit of myth about the lamb, the salt marsh lamb. It hasn't got a salty flavour. The salt content is exactly the same as ordinary lamb.
I had some earlier.
You did
at
have
Ferry
some in the
Hill.
Ferry
Yeah,
Hill,
they
ah.
cooked some up for me. It was brilliant. It was the best lamb I've ever eaten, without question.
Did you have the samphire with it?
And that's how he served it. To eat the lamb with the actual food that the
Yeah.
lamb itself eats, it was really neat. It was
You'll
quite
be
beautiful.
growing a fleece in a minute.
You figure?
You guys, you fly!
Thank you for this. This has been really, really interesting.
Good. I'm glad you've enjoyed it.
The more I explore this Gower Peninsula, the more there is to learn.
Oh, you got it good.
Look at that.
Perfect.
Sweet. The Gower Peninsula in southern Wales is my ancestral home, and even though I've never been here before, it hasn't taken me very long to find a connection with the people, the food, and the land. Jutting into the ocean, the Gower is a rugged, magical place, a great place to explore ancient foodways, to gather ingredients the way my ancestors did. Although my boat today is probably a little bigger and a little faster. Nice day for a cruise.
Perfect. I'm Andrew.
Michael, good to meet you.
The main inspiration on the food side of it is just that I love the idea of being able to live without actually having to go shopping, you know?
Back to the land.
Yeah, absolutely.
James, what's your role in all of this?
I'm mainly the cook.
You're the cook. Okay, you and I are going to get along just fine. Nice caves, eh?
All the caves along here were inhabited about 30,000 years ago during the Paleolithic.
Yeah, the original local foragers lived in there.
That's it. It would have given them the perfect vantage point to watch, looking for, you know, deer and wild game. And then they could have hunted and supplemented their diet with whatever wild plants they found as well. So very much like we're planning to do today.
Sure. So what are we going to find today?
Well, hopefully we'll get limpets, mussels, periwinkles, all sorts of good ingredients. It's a feast. It's like a supermarket, but it's free. So, quite a few periwinkles in the rock pools here.
And you've got to be a persistent cook to get a meal out of these, eh? There's not a whole lot of meat in there.
No, I think you probably use more energy getting them out than you actually get from them. So you could lose a lot of weight doing that. Now, in rock pools like this, we quite often find some really good seaweeds. Now, in Wales, we have lava bread, which is the sort of the national dish, really. But one of the easiest ones to find is this endomorphia here. Now, that can be dried and makes a kind of crispy oriental-style vegetable, so that's quite useful.
I live on the coast, but I don't go looking at all these seaweeds as something that I can eat.
Well, not many people do, but I think we should. So the other thing we have around here is the limpets. We've got some here.
Limpets.
Yeah. Now you've got to take these by surprise. If they know you're coming, they'll pull themselves really fast to the rock.
Are they tasty?
They are. They're a little bit tough if you overcook them. They get like rubber, but if you just cook them a little bit, they're fine.
This is not easy.
No.
As it turns out, limpets are a type of saltwater snail that cling very tightly to the rocks. Beautiful, a big one too.
That can be yours. You can hang onto that one.
I'm very proud of myself.
Oh, that's a good one. It's a meal in itself.
My limpet hunting rock.
That's it. You've become a caveman already, just one morning and you're there.
Yeah, see, I got it in my blood.
It's called rock samphire. You only ever find it above the tide line. It's got a slightly lemony taste. It's really unusual.
Are you kidding? That tastes exactly like a lemon.
It does, doesn't it?
That's brilliant. That's really nice. I feel like I'm on a treasure hunt here.
Gower has it all. You know, we've got these cliffs, we've got beaches, we've got dune system, salt marshes. That gives us this amazing potential for foraging. If you look up there, you have these creamy white flowers. And that's a plant called meadowsweet. I'm gonna cut some of the root up for you to have a sniff of because it's something you might recognize.
Are you kidding? That's root beer.
It's root beer, yeah.
Of course it is. Is that what's actually used to flavor root beer?
Absolutely.
Is
yeah.
it really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
But it also has a lot of salicylic acid, which is better known as aspirin. What you end up with at the end of the day is, you know, it's a great meal, but you've really enjoyed yourself getting there. You've learned a lot. You're finding good food that contains more nutrition than anything you buy in the stores. It's perfection all the way through. So.
I cook like this in my backyard all the time, but I had to come all the way to Wales to sort of discover that this is part of my heritage, too. I never really thought about it that way.
No, it's so true.
So now that we have a fire, what's on the menu, Chef?
The first dish to start will be cowl. Cowl literally is soup or stew in Welsh. It would traditionally be made with whatever was available. Bacon is what we'll use today. The only essential things are that you have onions, potatoes, and you finish with leeks. Leek being the national vegetable of Wales.
Okay.
Create a bed of embers for the limpets, so I'm just going to drag some out. So they come in their own little cooking pot. So
Sure.
It's upside down and they just simmer
And
in
how
the
long
shell.
do they take to cook? Not very long.
Not very long, just till they come away from the shell.
Yeah. Now we need to use the knife to scrape that's all the intestines, and
Right.
so that needs to be cut off there. It's chewy but tasty, isn't it?
Oh, it's really good. It's like a aromatic clam somehow. Like a clam with more flavor.
Right.
There's one.
As we have him.
Got him.
There's not a lot on him, but
Periwinkles.
Yep.
And this hawthorn works perfectly. You just sort of hook onto it and yank it right out.
could be designed for the job, couldn't it?
And you can eat the whole thing, eh?
Yeah.
This is the rock sapphire. I love that color. That's the color of fresh right there. I feel like when I'm cooking this way, it connects me. Generations and generations of cooks that have come before me that didn't have stoves, and you know, this is how they had to do it.
In Wales, we say "Yachidai hi." Good health to you.
Yahi daihi.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. And that pot is so full of stew. It's a good thing I've invited some folks to share it with us.
It's an expandable feast.
Welcome, everybody.
Hello.
Everybody hungry?
Very hungry.
Right. Grab a bowl.
It smells good.
I think it's amazing. Really, really tasty. You know, it's full of flavor. It's local. It's traditional. It's Welsh. This is exactly what I came for. With your permission, I want to share some words with you. I travel with my journal. Teg edric, tiag adrev. It is satisfying to look homewards.
Can you read it, Kate?
Would you like to try? Right here in my book. Right there.
Teg edric, tiag adrev.
Okay, well, I could do a little better. I was cheating, actually. I had it written out over here.
Oh,
Teg edric, tiag adrev. How's that?
Cheating, Kate.
I think I need to practice a little bit more, don't I? It's my mom's side of the family, and her parents were killed when she was very young. So the only thing she had left was just knowing and having been told for years and years. My grandparents came from Wales. That's really all we know at this point.
You'll have to do a bit of research.
Yeah, we have to do some more research.
It's a great excuse for you to come back to Wales, Michael.
I don't need an excuse to come back to Wales. Not at all. What's the name of this castle, anyway?
It's Webley Castle.
Webley.
Webley Castle.
Webley.
Yeah.
My family's name is Webb.
Is it?
It is.